Hey, what's up guys? We are back, and in this video we have another leak to discuss, and this is the third leak that we have discussed on this channel leading up to E3. It's probably not going to be the last one, so here we go. And if you don't want E3 spoiled, this is your warning, but this does appear to be the real thing, and there is sources backing this up. This is correct information, and I have also heard myself from a few individuals behind the scenes that this is correct as well. So I really think that this is the real deal for the things we're going to discuss, so get ready and let's get started. So the user by the name of Amarmo on Twitter discovered a document that appears to be a part of the E3 showroom display planning and has marketing materials for 9 different games. So they listed Dragon Ball FighterZ, Fortnite, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, FIFA 19, Killer Queen Black, Starlink Battle for Atlas, Paladins, Overcooked 2, and Mario Tennis Aces. So FIFA 19 was just confirmed today by EA, and then we heard rumblings that they were bringing the next FIFA game to the Switch as well. And of course we know about Monster Hunter, we know about Starlink, and we know about Mario Tennis. But Dragon Ball FighterZ was continually said by Bandai Namco that they had no plans of bringing it to the Switch, so on and so on. They kept denying it. Of course, we've been hearing rumors that it was coming to the Switch from various different people over the past 6 to 8 months or so. And while I personally never wrote the game off as coming to the Switch, I took the developer's word for it, and I said, okay, when and if it's announced, I'll wait for that. But I wasn't going to get my hopes up for the game since they kept saying, we have no plans, we have no plans. And that's my advice for any game, really. When a developer says no plans, there's really no reason to not take their word for it unless they give you a reason to not take their word for it, which sometimes they do give hints. Even though they say no plans, they sometimes do give hints that the game is still coming. With Dragon Ball FighterZ, the only hint they gave was that if the fan outcry was strong enough that they would bring the game to the Switch, and then they later on did say that the fan outcry was strong. But that's all they said. So even though that wasn't a confirmation it was coming, it still left it open to the possibility. So that is great news. That might be one of the best games on this list, and we'll come back to Dragon Ball FighterZ in just a moment, but we'll get to the other games as well. Fortnite for the Switch was heavily rumored back and forth for the past 6 months coming to the system, so this looks like it is going to happen, and it's going to be shown at E3, so that's very good for all you Fortnite fans out there. I'm not a big Fortnite fan myself, but I definitely recognize the huge popularity for the game worldwide, and the game is basically the biggest game in the world that you can play on console, bar none. So that was a must that this game was coming to the Switch, and it made no sense really for it to not be on the Switch as well. So it could just have something to do with Nintendo rolling out their online service in September. Maybe the game's coming out in September to support that. We'll have to wait and see. But Fortnite coming to the Switch. Then we have a brand new game we never heard of called Killer Queen Black. Now this is an unknown game. It could be an indie game, or it could be a brand new AAA game. We really don't know, but Killer Queen Black, the way the logo looks and everything, it looks something like it could be an indie type of game there. So we have to wait and see what that is, but hey, that's another brand new game for the Switch. And then we have Overcooked 2 coming to the Switch as well. As you know, Overcooked 1 already came out, and I believe it sold pretty well on the Switch overall for the type of game it was, you know, being a smaller indie type title. So if you were a fan of Overcooked 1, Overcooked 2 is on the way. And then probably the third biggest game here on this list that is confirmed is Paladins. So Paladins is a game that's very similar to Overwatch. It is a first-person shooter, team-based, and you have heroes, you unlock special powers, you have all kinds of items to get and everything in the game. It's very much like Overwatch. Everyone's compared it to Overwatch. This game is coming to the Switch. So if you like Overwatch and are bummed that it's not coming to the Switch, it looks like Paladins will be the game that will fill that niche for you. So there we have 5 unconfirmed, unannounced games for the Nintendo Switch that have now been basically confirmed here, pending the announcement. It's the only thing we're waiting for. But yeah, these games are coming to the Switch. Now getting back to Dragon Ball FighterZ, I have this game on PS4. I got it back in January because obviously there was no clear-cut answer of whether or not the Switch was getting this game, and for all we knew it could have been at the end of the year or not at all. So I'm really glad I picked up Dragon Ball FighterZ on the PS4. It is a fantastic game. It's one of the best, if not the best, Dragon Ball games I've ever played. For the Nintendo Switch, I think it's a perfect fit because it's a portable system and the game has a lot of single-player content, and each battle can last, you know, just a couple minutes at a time. It is an absolute perfect game for a portable console. So it really just baffles my mind that this game actually wasn't on the Switch on day one. The file size is small, it's not a big game, and it's not a very demanding game either. It definitely can be run on the Switch. The PC requirements to run Dragon Ball FighterZ is very low, and the game runs at 1080p 60 frames per second on PS4, Xbox One, so on and so forth. So for the Nintendo Switch, for this port of Dragon Ball FighterZ, I expect it to be 30 frames per second probably, with a variable resolution of 720p and 900p is my guess in docked mode, and a variable resolution in portable mode probably from 600p to 720p. Based on the type of ports we've seen on the Switch thus far, I think that's reasonable to expect, and I don't think that's going to be something really noticeable to players really. The frame rate maybe, however, you have to remember that the animation for the characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ is 24 frames per second or less, because they're mimicking the cartoon. If you've seen the cartoon, the way they animate the Dragon Ball characters, they are intentionally missing frames of animation to highlight the dramatic aspects of their fights. So Dragon Ball FighterZ on Nintendo Switch running at 30 frames per second from 60 frames per second, it's probably going to be something you have to get used to just briefly, but I don't think it's going to be that huge of a deal due to the animation being already below 30 frames per second. But the main thing here for Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Switch is that hopefully it's not missing any content, and of course hopefully it's not downgraded too much in terms of the visuals, which I don't think it will, because like I said, it's not a very demanding game. Alright, so that is another leak here for you. It's rather big and it's nearly confirmed. So if you're excited for Dragon Ball FighterZ, Fortnite, Paladins, all these games we talked about here, let me know about it in the comment section. And also let me know if you think that E3 has been ruined for you personally as a fan. Hopefully it hasn't. I do think there's still more surprises to come from Nintendo. We haven't seen many leaks from Nintendo themselves about what they are showing for E3. So there's still a lot to be excited for. Obviously we have Smash Brothers and the new reveals for the characters. And of course we got Fire Emblem to look forward to. So a lot of new stuff that could be popping up there from Nintendo that will still catch fans by surprise. At least we hope that's the case, so hopefully there is something left to be surprised about when E3 finally comes. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching the video, and thank you for your support on the channel. We're just about to reach 17,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate all you guys coming by and watching and supporting and sharing the videos. I appreciate it. Again, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, follow me on Twitter, and I'll talk to you guys very soon in the next video. Have a great day.